Hello. It is a Saturday afternoon, a little over 1 p.m. Today's video, which will be going on later today, was initially supposed to be like a day in my life, under like quarantine during like social distancing and whatnot. But while I do want to do a video like that for this channel, I thought that this issue was a bit more pressing. It has been weighing on me these past couple of days, and like Instagram stories is not cutting it. So I was like, okay, let me hop on the YouTube, let me speak my words, let me get what I want to say out there, and let that be that. And hopefully people watch it and people resonate with it and understand where I'm coming from. So let's talk about Black trauma. And before I continue with this video, this may be triggering to some folks. So if you find yourself to be triggered by these types of conversations or these types of like topics, please, I suggest you exit out of this video. This is very raw, very candid. I don't have a notebook. I don't have anything. This is literally just like, off the dome, out of my mind, onto the screen. Because I don't think there should be any sort of theatrics or whatnot when it comes to this topic. Not at all. I will not lie and say I am a pretty privileged person. I grew up in an immigrant household. Yes, my parents had to come here, had to sacrifice a lot, had to do a lot in order to get where we are today. I'm not gonna front. And where I am today is pretty comfortable, and I'm very happy with that. So I have recognized my privilege, especially in my socioeconomic background, because I have not grown up like some other people. So I cannot touch upon those things. But I can still touch upon what it means to me, like, being Black in America. And maybe I have not had these things like personally inflicted, but it still hurts to see others who look like me have these things inflicted upon them. So this video is in light of the recent resurgence of the Ahmaud Arbery case. So to give a little context, Ahmaud was a 25-year-old Black man who was jogging one day, and two white men assumed that he was one of the people who was committing the burglaries within their area, a predominantly white area. So Ahmaud was jogging through the area, and they took it upon themselves to corner him, confront him, and essentially kill him. They shot him to death. This happened in February. Keep this in mind. This happened in February of this year. It wasn't until these past week or so, like week and a half, 2 weeks, that a video came out showing what those two white men did to Ahmaud. And, obviously when you see that type of stuff, it's very harrowing, so I did not watch the video because I could not sit down and watch something so like gruesome happen. But not only that, there's going to be rage. There's going to be an outpour of rage and upset. So protests started happening. Protests on social media and in person. We have Trump supporters and white supremacists protesting the coronavirus and the lockdowns. But there are people out here right now protesting their lives while risking their lives, because that's how serious this is. The fact that it took a video to go viral in order for the area in which he lived in, somewhere in Georgia, to actually take action against the two men who took his life is very concerning. Very concerning, because it should not take that much in order for a Black body to matter. However, this has been our struggle for as long as the dawn of time. Like, it's never ending. And it just really baffled me that it really took that much just for us to see a charge happen to those two men, and hopefully to the third man who was considered an accomplice. I believe he was the one who filmed the video, as well as like drove, like kind of closed in on Ahmaud, and then allowed the two men to do what they did. We should not have to be sensationalized in order to matter. We should not have to be sensationalized in order to matter. Our bodies should not have to be riddled with bullets and spread about, the entire interweb for us to matter. It's just very concerning as a Black person living in this country, because yes, I might have the privilege in terms of my socioeconomic background, but when people like that who are violent towards Black people see me, they're not gonna see my socioeconomic background. They're not gonna see that I'm a college student. They're not gonna see any of that. What they're gonna see is a Black person who they don't think has a right to be in that area, and they're going to do something about it. Point blank. That's just how it is. And that's sad. The fact that he can't peacefully jog in an area that's not his own without fearing for his life is concerning. It is exhausting to walk this earth and to be within this country every day in fear that somebody is going to attack you. But that is the fear that is put on the shoulders of Black people every single day in this country. Every single day in this country, we fear that the one time we go out might be the last time we go out. Whether we make a mistake or somebody just decides, oh, I am the executioner, it's time for you to go, when that's not their job to do. And it's not under their jurisdiction to do any of that. What makes it even worse is that there are certain states that will literally provide loopholes for no retribution to happen. Like, for example, the George Zimmerman case with Trayvon Martin. We know what he did to that young boy. I was 12 when that happened. When that happened, that was a catalyst to changing who I believed, changing how I perceived myself as a Black person walking around in America. And it really put into perspective that my life is not seen as valuable to many, many people. And that I have to be careful, with the words that I say, the actions that I do, just to survive, not even to live, to survive. George Zimmerman killed this boy, no pretense whatsoever, walked away scotch-free because Florida has certain laws in which, like the Stand Your Ground law, I believe that's what it's called, the Stand Your Ground law. And so many states have these laws that allow so many people to walk free without consequence. Without consequence. To the point that George Zimmerman had the audacity to sue the family of Trayvon Martin and his attorneys and their attorneys and whatnot for defamation of character. The audacity to sell the gun that he used against him. Against that young boy. He felt so empowered by the fact that he was not going to go to jail that he just went off. And that is allowed way too much in this country. And I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. Another instance, not necessarily a civilian instance, but another man, unfortunately, passed away recently. I don't know what he was running from. I didn't watch the whole video because, again, I don't want to see that on my screen. I watched Queen and Slim. After that, I was like, no more, because I can't. And he was gunned down by police, and they put hella bullets in him. And they mocked him over his dead body after. The police The police who say that they're here to protect us. The police who are sworn in to protect the communities in which they reside in. They're not protecting anybody but themselves. And they are way too combatant, way too militant to be doing their jobs properly. We should not be sensationalized in order to matter. Honestly, I'm tired of seeing these types of videos circulate because it does nothing but trigger people. It does nothing but anger people. And it is exhausting to be angry all the time. It really is. And a lot of these people also use these videos for clout. And that's disgusting. You're using videos of somebody dying to gain some brownie points in the woke spectrum. Oh yeah, I'm an ally, I'm so woke. Here, I shared this video and I'm not doing anything else about it but sharing this video. No, that's not okay. We know this is what we deal with because it's something that is embedded in our history of being Black in America. To the point that like back in the day, they would literally have like picnics and like mini like parties when they would, lynch Black people. They would do it publicly and people would watch and eat snacks. White people would watch and eat, like it was like a circus show. We were made out to be circus freaks. That's terrible. So the last thing I need to see on my timeline is an unfortunate situation in which an innocent or not innocent, but somebody who still deserves to go through the proper process of, justice, getting harmed and getting killed so brutally. And it hurts even more because we know that the people who do it to them are more than likely not going to receive the due punishment that they deserve. I am all for, the taking down the prison industrial complex. I don't support it because it disproportionately affects Black and brown bodies. But at the same time, when are we ever going to see our day in court? When are we ever going to see those who are inflicting harm upon us? When are we ever going to see them being held accountable for their actions? Because it rarely happens. And once we receive a victory, we celebrate because we're not used to victories. We're not used to victories. For one, I don't want anybody sending me any more videos. I don't want anybody sending me Sean King's account because he's a part of this whole situation of using these types of issues for clout. But I'm not going to get into that because there's many receipts against him that y'all can look for himself. I don't mess with him. I just don't. I'm not a fan of him. Based on what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've read, I'm not a fan of him. I highly recommend that you don't follow him because he's not down on the ground like actual grassroots activists are. He's not. What he's doing is very little compared to what actual people are doing on the ground, specifically Black women on the ground. So I suggest you look into that. But that aside, I don't want to see any more videos like this on my timeline. If I do, I'm going to mute you or I'm going to block you. Don't send me those videos. Don't, because it harms me. It hurts to see these things. We should not have to be sensationalized in order to matter. And this can be in any context. Whether it's our deaths, whether it's us doing insurmountable feats that give us crumbs of recognition. Like I remember this immigrant in France, scaled a building in order to save a child and was granted French citizenship. If he hadn't scaled that building, where would he be now? It's things like that. We should not have to do above and beyond in order to gain a crumb of recognition or a crumb of the rights that we deserve. That's not, no. And to white people and non-Black people of color, do more. Because it is so hard for us to have to be activists, but also give ourselves time to grieve. we're not given the time to grieve over the losses that we are facing. And it would mean a lot if you could take the time to not only educate yourself about these situations, it would also help if you took the time to help your Black friends through these issues. Speak out for us. Put your bodies in line with us too when we're protesting. You need to come correct. I'm going to insert the video of Rihanna saying it because Rihanna said it better than I could. But she's right. If you want to be an ally, it's more than tweeting a hashtag, posting a picture, and patting yourself on the back. It's more than that. Do your research. Volunteer your time and your energy to the cause. If you want to be a true ally, that's pretty much all I can say. I don't know. Like I said, I did not plan for this video to go out today, but it was something that was weighing on my chest, and I felt as if it was necessary for me to speak about because it's something that I am very passionate about. I feel very strongly about this topic. Rest in power to Ahmaud, rest in power to Sean, rest in power to Trayvon, to Sandra, all of them. I hope that they are resting, and I hope that we see more days in court where we win. I hope to see people being held accountable for their destructive actions in this country. Yeah, that's all. This isn't for brownie points. This isn't for likes. This isn't for anything like that. This is literally just me bearing myself and putting myself out there because this is what I find to be therapeutic for myself. This is how I this is how I heal, being in front of a camera, allowing me to speak my thoughts out, just it helps a lot. So yeah, I'm not doing this for anything at all. I'm doing this for awareness, but I'm mainly doing it for myself too. So other than that, I will see you next week. It feels weird to put out this video and then put out another video after welcome to my workout routine or whatever, but unfortunately we do have to move. I hope that doesn't make me come off as insensitive because like I said, I try to do this work every single day in any which way that I can. This is the best way that I have right now, but I'm hoping to do more and more work on the ground as I progress. But yeah, you will see me next week. And yeah, goodbye.